Today's topic is, what are you hungry for? What are you hungry for? I ask this of my kids often when I see them standing in front of the refrigerator. The doors are wide open, just staring in the fridge, just looking at the food, looking at what's in there on the shelves. Or they could be standing with the pantry door open and just scanning the shelves, seeing what kind of snacks are there. What are you really hungry for? I ask them. I don't know, is the usual reply I get. Sometimes they stand there for what seems like an eternity, sometimes choosing an item, and other times they just close the door and walk away with nothing. I've done this too. I've done this many times. Have you? Have you stood in front of an open refrigerator or pantry just looking for something to eat, looking for something to satisfy a craving? Sometimes you grab some food or a snack, and other times not. Are you really hungry at that moment? If you're not really hungry, then what are you really hungry for? What do you hope to satisfy when standing in front of the fridge or the pantry? My guess is a feeling. My bet is that you are looking to feel differently, and you are turning to food to hopefully be satisfied, filled up. This is emotional eating, and I am so guilty of this most days of the week. Emotional eating is often tied to negative emotions or feelings we don't want to feel. What are those feelings? What are those feelings that we don't want to feel? Boredom, stress, overwhelm, frustration, sadness, anger, anxiousness, loneliness. What feeling are we trying to satisfy with food? Or maybe we're just procrastinating, or just trying to distract ourselves from feeling or thinking about what we really should be focusing on. I mean, I do this a lot when I'm like, oh, I know I need to be doing this, but I don't want to do it right now. So what else could I do? Oh, well, maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I'll just go look to see what's there to eat. Have you done that before? But how will food help decrease or eliminate these feelings we don't want to feel? Eating food to eliminate boredom or stress or anxiousness or sadness doesn't get rid of these feelings. They often make these feelings worse because we feel worse when we're not satisfied. So how many times have we stuffed ourselves with food? Whether it is at Thanksgiving time or any other holiday dinner, or stuffed ourselves with cake, ice cream, chips, a half a pound of brownies, maybe handfuls of chocolate chips or M&Ms, and feel worse afterwards? Or is this just me? Is this just me? No? You're telling me no? I'm not the only one? Good. There's so many of us that stuff ourselves full, and we're trying to satisfy a feeling that is not physical hunger for food. So if we're eating whatever is in sight or too much of something, it is a real indication that food is not what we're hungry for. So what are we hungry for? What are we really craving? What are we really wanting to feel? I believe we all want to feel more alive. And I think there's three ways we want to feel more alive. One way is we want more energy. We just want to have more energy to do more things. And I feel like we want more connection with others. And the third feeling I feel like we're after when we want to feel more alive is more excitement. This is often what I feel I want more of. What about you? What do you really want to feel? If we want to feel more alive, have more energy, how will stuffing ourselves with lots and lots of food or sweets or chips or snacks bring us more energy? Well, it does for maybe a short time, but stuffing ourselves often weighs ourselves down. It overwhelms our systems, makes us lethargic, and stresses out our mind, body, and our feelings. And it makes it worse. Just think of if you stuff yourself at Thanksgiving dinner, how do you feel? Lethargic, weighed down, don't feel like doing anything? Yeah, that's what eating things when we don't need it for physical health, how that's what it makes it feels like. So what can we do instead? What are some other things we can do to feel more energized? Well, go for a walk, get outside, get out in the sun, go exercise. You can eat healthier foods and eat less food. You can drink more water, you can get better sleep. These are all ways I've tried to gain more energy, and it works. What other ways can you think of that will give you more energy? The second feeling that I feel like we want to have is connection. So, what are you really hungry for? What do you want to feel? I feel like we want to be more alive by being more connected with others. So, how can we feel more connected with others? Well, we often turn to social media, and we get out our phones and we scroll and scroll and scroll to see what our friends and family are up to so we can kind of feel connected to them. And we can do this for hours. But by the end of the time, we're actually no more connected to anyone than we were when we started. In fact, we might feel less connected because we're comparing our lives to somebody else's highlight reel. This interaction is also just one-sided. You're doing the looking and the scrolling, and you're not interacting with anybody. And it makes us feel worse than we did before because we're not having that social interaction. We are human beings that are social beings. We need to interact with others, but it needs to be two-sided. So you want to feel more connected. So you stop scrolling and you sit on the couch and watch TV or a football game or a movie with the person you want to feel more connected to. But what happens? Again, this is one-sided. Most of the interaction is with the TV and not with the person sitting next to you. And one or both of you might actually be on your phone scrolling and watching TV at the same time. Has any of that ever happened before? Happens at our house. It might be a great show, it might be a great game or a movie, but if you're wanting to feel more connected to your loved one, you may not get the results you want by just sitting next to them. So how can you feel more connected? Put away the distractions, put away the phone, intentionally create meaningful moments, have a conversation face to face, Look each other in the eyes, listen intently, reply back, have an exchange of information, a dialogue with our voices, and seeing the person face to face. Might feel more connected. Reach out, touch them, give them a hug, hold their hand. What are you really hungry for? When we're hungry for connection, you are hungry to feel close to another person, close enough to where that person gets you, to feel like you're cared for, that you're important, that you're supported. You want to be seen, heard, and appreciated. So you need to create opportunities to feel these things without distractions. Go for a drive in the country, go on a walk and talk to each other. Have a no phone zone or a time of day where the phone is turned off so you can connect more. I find it really interesting. Our school just recently implemented a no phone policy. The biggest change was lunch. The high schoolers used to be on their phones all during lunch. It was quiet. There wasn't much social interaction at all. But since the no phone policy, the high school lunch is the loudest lunch because the kids are actually talking with each other and they're laughing together and they're creating these bonds and they're connecting with others. How great is that? They are continuing to learn social skills of talking to one another by just putting away the phone. We are social beings. We need to interact and feel connected with others physically close to them and by communicating and seeing the body language. So the third feeling that we want to get for being more alive is excitement. We want more excitement in our lives, a sense of newness or a challenge or adventure in our lives. We really are looking to break up the monotony of our day or our life. We need a change. Our lives become often very boring with a predictable routine. We get up, take the kids to school, we go to work, we come home, we eat, watch TV, go to bed. Get up, take the kids to school, go to work, come home, eat, watch TV, go to bed. This routine can get really old. Same old, boring life. But what we are really looking for is a feeling of excitement, of adventure, something new to break up the day or look forward to. We have to intentionally make or inject something new, fun, or challenging into our lives. It's just not going to fall into place. It's just not going to fall into our lives. We have to create this. This could be as simple as driving a different way to work, reading a book instead of watching a movie, switching up your exercise routine, trying some new recipes, planning a vacation, having some family game nights. Hey, have a date night with your spouse. Start creating a bucket list of things that you want to do, and then start checking them off. Start doing those things. We all need some variety in our lives. It won't magically appear. You have to create it. And that's why anything new feels so good. We get some new clothes and those feel so good. Maybe we're in a new relationship. We changed jobs. We're in a new town, new house. We have a new hobby. There's a lot of excitement and with new and different things that are happening. It's fresh, right? We want to impress things, it makes us feel good. But then after a while, we just get set in a routine and the excitement and the newness wears off. The challenge is how to keep the newness alive. And that's just bringing in some new, fresh things, maybe a fresh bouquet of flowers, new recipe, going a different way to work, changing up something in your routine of the day to make it more exciting, to make it new, to make it fresh. So what are you really hungry for? When you catch yourself looking in the fridge or the pantry for something to satisfy you, what is it that you're really hungry for? Maybe it's a feeling. Remember, what you are looking for is not usually in the fridge or the pantry. It's a feeling that you want to feel. So name that feeling. Look at your life and where you could change what you are doing to create the feeling that you want. It starts with being aware. Be aware of your thoughts and your feelings, and then make a decision to get out of the fridge and do something different to satisfy what you're really hungry for. A sense of aliveness, full of energy, connecting with others, and doing activities that raise the level of an adventure or excitement. So, what are you really hungry for?